I continue prototyping my idle incremental game. Right now I'm on the early stage of development when I test different mechanics and try to figure out what the game loop should look like. In terms of resource gathering and certain mechanics, I'm taking my cue from the game Zero Stress King. In this game, enemies infinitely spawn and run towards your base. You have to kill them before they disappear in order to get resources and upgrade. In my prototype, I reimagined this mechanic, and resources simply disappear after a certain amount of time, which is basically the same, but static. Maybe in the future I'll use it to add more manual gameplay. Also, because players shoot projectiles, sometimes resources at the front block those at the back. I've added a visible timer that shows when the new tree is gonna spawn. Visual things like timers and impacts may seem secondary to the gameplay, but in my opinion they make all the difference, and what's more important, give information to the player. Also, it's much more easier to develop and test new features if I visually see how they affect the game. You can upgrade the spawn rate of the trees and their lifetime. These are two parameters that define the amount of trees on screen right now. Lately, the player should have much more damage, and accordingly kill trees faster. The spawn time will most likely take no more than a second, and the disappearance time won't matter, but at the beginning both parameters are important. Maybe I'll need to tweak the balance or come up with some countermeasures, but most likely I'll just add new, more durable resources. Speaking about damage, I added a new crit parameter, and it does exactly what you may expect from critical damage in video games. The interesting thing that I spotted in Zero Stress King is that passive generators also have a crit chance, and when they do crit, they give additional resources. I thought that it's a fun idea and added it to my prototype as well. Also, I changed the initial maximal distance of starting towers. There was a problem when trees spawned too far away, and you had nothing to do but to wait for a new tree and pray it spawned close enough. To counter it, I wanted to split the resource grid into areas with different spawn chances, and adjust them when the player buys upgrades. But I quickly realized that I'm basically solving a problem that shouldn't exist. Why on earth would player care about shooting distance if trees always spawn closely, and I still force them to upgrade the shooting distance at first? So now shooters at the center just reach any cell, but that isn't the case for any spot though, so this parameter will have more use in the future. In the previous devlog I mentioned that I want to rework a lumberjack's building. Previously it generated 10 wood every 7 seconds, and could be upgraded to produce more wood in fewer seconds. Technically speaking it was okay, but boring. You could just buy it and it would work without any interactions. Here's what I've come up with. When you hit a tree, the lumberjack gets a charge, and when it's fully charged, you have to empty it with clicks to get resources. I think that's more interesting because it's a new way of interaction, and in the game concept I'm imagining, a system that encourages a large number of bullets on screen seems more logical. You still can't automate it fully, because clicking gets tedious extremely fast, but now automation makes more sense. That's it for today. I like that the prototype is starting to take shape. We'll keep working on it. Bye!